Good morning, CSL. How y'all doing this morning? It's good to see you all here. Thank you for being here. We're honored that you chose to spend part of your Sunday morning with us. Know that it will serve your best and highest good, whether you're joining us here in person in the sanctuary or live streaming on Facebook Live, YouTube, or our own website, CSLFTL.org. Welcome, and a very special welcome to any of our first-time guests. I met a few of you, and please let us know if it's your first time. Let an usher know, or someone wearing a purple stole, a prayer practitioner, and definitely go to guest services in the lobby afterward. We have a gift for you of mala beads that you can wear as a piece of jewelry to remind you there's always a place for you here at Center for Spiritual Living, Fort Lauderdale, or use it in your prayer or meditation practice. We're going to have a few announcements that we'll get out of the way early before we get into our service. Please join us right after service at noon in the Community Center for a prayer workshop that Dr. John and myself are going to host. It's only an hour, free of charge, and learn how to pray, when to pray. We're going to have a demonstration of prayer, what it's like when you have prayer with a prayer practitioner that's available here after service so that you're comfortable when you have a need. We're here for you. So please join us for that. And as a follow-up to the workshop, if you choose, Dr. John's going to be teaching a class for 6 weeks. It is called The Power of Your Word. And this is a certificated class on spiritual mind treatment on Tuesdays starting April 23rd to May 28th from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. So you can learn more about these events and everything that's happening here at the center on our app, on CSLFTL.org, or at guest services. At this time, I'm going to invite Casey Tansey up to briefly share about Zen Pike's Women's Retreat on April 27th. So, Casey, thank you.
Hi, everybody. Wow, this is a great spot. So we're hosting a women's retreat on April 27th. We will be doing yoga, breath work, journaling, cacao ceremony, dancing, laughing, all of the things. It's going to be a really great, nourishing experience. So for any women, if you want to join, please join us. Yeah, it's an honor.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And lastly, our annual membership meeting is going to be Sunday, May 5th, and Dr. Ferd Cabrera, President of the Board of Trustees, is going to share some important details about that with you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, and welcome to CSL. So on May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, you have another reason to celebrate besides eating tacos and tequila. So we are hosting here the annual membership. This is intended for all of you that are members of CSL. How you know if you are a member of CSL? You needed to take the course, Foundations, and it's a special foundation class that was given last year in 1 day, and that qualified you just to be an official CSL member, but also qualify you for you guys to help us choose our next senior minister. It has been a long journey. It has been 3 years that we are looking for the spiritual director for the center that has the vision, that has the calling, and that's been sent to Spirit to us. So this year, as you well know, we have Dr. John Waterhouse as a rich minister, but we are also, I am part of the search committee, we received the application of another candidate. This candidate has been here 2 Sundays already in February. Her name is Reverend Elizabeth Canty, and she's going to be here also as presented to you as a candidate for senior minister. The plan is you're going to receive an email blast with the qualification, experience, and questions that are going to be answering the same 3 questions, so your members have a more chance to get to know these blessed individuals that are applying to be your spiritual director. So on that Sunday, the 5th, we encourage you to stay for the meeting. Lunch will be served, and then you will be able to get to know them more closely, ask specific questions. You're going to receive also the report of the board for the financials. So this is the time for you to get to know how are we doing, what is our vision to move forward. And most important is how we incorporate this philosophy that has been for over 100 years, how we can make it relevant to attract the right individuals, 30s, people with children. So this philosophy continues to expand and grow as our civilization, as we are evolving as a society. So that's what I have to say about that. We're looking forward to see you. Have a blessed day.
At CSL, we have an intention statement that says who we are and how we want to be present in the world. So I invite you all to please stand with me and join me in saying it afterwards. Please greet your neighbor with a hello, a handshake, or a namaste. So CSL, who are we? We are a loving and diverse spiritual community dedicated to personal growth, healing, and service.
All right, let's pray ourselves in here. I know that God is in this place. That is correct. It's because we're here. It's because the presence and the power is everywhere. It's at the point of us. And when we know that and we use that, our lives get better and better and better because we are never alone. We are never outside of Spirit. Spirit is all there is. And that power and presence dwells at the point of us in all that we think, all that we say, and all that we do. And as we build our confidence in that knowing, we get stronger and clearer and more ready to face the world. So I know we come together this morning to remember this, and we do it well because God is all there is, and that's the truth, and so it is. Yeah.
Here we go, come on.
I think we all know this song, so if you want to sing along with us, please do.
Whoa, the Spirit of God is upon me, right? Let's give them another another round of applause. Thank you so much. I love that song. Good morning, CSL. My name is Juan Carlos Sequeiros. I'm a licensed practitioner here at CSL. And it's my privilege and honor to present today's core value. Thank you, Dr. John, and thank you, CSL, for having me. The Center for Spiritual Living, Fort Lauderdale, is guided by 7 core values. They are love, healing, oneness, abundance, spiritual growth, service, and diversity. Each week we highlight one of these values to keep its meaning fresh in our minds. Today our focus is on the core value of love. George Washington Carver said, and I have a quote here, "Anything will give up its secrets if you love it enough." Not only have I found that when I talk to the little flower or to the little peanut, they will give up their secrets, but I have found that when I silently commune with people, they give up their secrets also, if you love them enough. Now, to me, this quote hints at the power of love and how to really love someone or something. George Washington Carver was a deeply spiritual man. He was a mystic who loved nature, he loved plants, he loved trees, he loved flowers, and he woke up every day at 4 a.m. and went into the woods to meditate and to commune silently with nature, with the trees, with the plants. And he said that this was his way of getting his instructions of what work he was to do that day. Now, through his love and his practice, he discovered over 300 uses for the peanut by communing with the peanut, by talking to it and listening to it. And a lot of other plants. He did a lot of work with a lot of plants, and he also invented and developed crop rotation, the method which revolutionized agriculture and farming worldwide. Now, back to his quote, "Anything will give up its secrets if you love it enough." Now, when he was talking about secrets, he wasn't talking about skeletons in the closet, you know what I'm saying? When he was talking about secrets, he was talking about who they are, the plants or people, who they are in truth, and what gifts they have to offer the world. If you love something enough, it will give up its secrets to you, right? And loving, when he said loving enough, what he meant was focused attention, giving time, interest, listening, and talking, clear communication, whatever people or plants need, support, appreciation, kindness, gratitude, right seeing, an open mind, and silent communication also. Now, I really resonate with this teaching. I've been a DJ for over 25 years, and in my own practice of that, what I've learned is that when I spend time with the music, and I spend hours listening to music, the music starts to tell me, it starts to whisper to me its secrets. It starts to tell me where and when to play it, you know, and in conjunction with what other songs. And it tells me what else it's trying to teach me and to teach anyone who listens to my music when I play it. The same thing with painting. I also paint. I don't know if anyone else here paints, but when I paint, I'm looking at the canvas and I'm listening. I'm giving it my full attention. And it starts to tell me, you know, what color to use, what lines to use. So I leave you with 3 questions. What do you love? Who do you love? And are you loving them enough? Today's core value is love. Thank you very much.
Please welcome our guest musician today, Mr. Juan Tobin. Back with us again. Is it getting better? Do you feel the same? Will it make it easier on
Y'all nailed that. But what's new, right? Good morning, CSL. Good morning. Good to see all of you this morning, bright and shiny and pretty. You look great. So, you that were here last week will remember that we began a course of exploration with the writings of Ernest Holmes, in particular, what has come to be known as the Declaration of Principles. But he first called it What I Believe. And it's available out there at the guest services counter for all of you to take home with you. It's one page. And I'm encouraging everyone to read this every day this month so that you are totally attuned as we talk about these things. So who doesn't have one of these yet that's close to the front? Come grab it, because I have nowhere to hide this right now. So thank you very much. That's your copy. All right, so we're working on our second installation here. We're going to talk about 4 different passages in the Declaration of Principles. And we begin with the first one. I believe in the incarnation of the Spirit in everyone, and that all people are incarnations of the one Spirit. Pretty logical. I don't think that surprises anybody. We teach that all the time around here, that we're incarnations of God. So there's not like there's anything to go deeply there, except of a couple of things that came to my mind as I was thinking about it. One is that I think one of the biggest criticisms I get from people about our teaching is, y'all think you're God. Anybody ever does that to you? Here's the response. Yes, we do. And we know you're God too. Oh. Kind of slows it down. But it's good to understand that we do believe that. We absolutely do, and we're not ashamed of that. We're actually quite happy about it. The other thing comes from a friend of mine, a fellow named Dr. Bruce Lipton. Anybody heard of Bruce? Okay, we got some of his followers here. He went from cellular biologist to metaphysical teacher. I love it when scientists figure out what we teach is correct. And one of the things that he has discovered is that we're not actually in our bodies. This whole idea of a soul being something in us, and some people have claimed that when we pass from this life, that our body gives up a few little ounces of weight. I don't think that's your soul. I don't think your soul weighs anything. I don't think your soul is physical. And I don't think your soul's here. I think it is somewhere else in the allness, probably beyond time and space. But we communicate through our bodies in this physical world to our spiritual presence. And that's what I got real clear from Bruce, is that's what's going on. He said every cell in your body has these little microscopic antennae all over it, antennae, or antennas, I'm not sure what the plural is there, but that they are receiving some kind of communication and sending some kind of communication to parts unknown. And that the largest concentration of those antennae are actually in your cerebellum, right at the base of your skull, in your brain. So we're communicating from somewhere else. It's like our bodies are drones, and we're controlling them from somewhere else. So play with that one for a while and see if you find something interesting in it. The next of these 4 statements says, I believe in the eternality, the immortality, and the continuity of the individual soul forever and ever expanding. Now that phrase has some implications. Some people think that when we pass, that our whatever we are rejoins the allness of spirit in one collective to where we're no longer definable as an individual. I'm not thinking that Holmes believed that, because that's not what he said here. He said that we continue this and that it's forever and ever expanding. Well, how's it going to expand if we're not here in physical form? So we figure something, from infants passing out of this world to 100 and something. I think the oldest person on the planet right now is 122, lives in England. Is that it? We're eternal beings, and we only get that much time? I don't think so. I think there's something else going on. And I can say it in one word. Are you ready? Reincarnation. Now, the science of mind takes no position on reincarnation. There's an old joke, and I take it as a joke because I don't hear him saying it, that Holmes said, no, that doesn't happen. You'll never get me back in diapers. But I am convinced that that is a joke. The word reincarnation only shows up one place in all of the writings that Holmes did. It's in the glossary of the original textbook published in 1926. That's the only place it's written anywhere. So he wasn't pursuing an answer to this, and that's fine. But somehow I believe from that idea that we are eternal beings, that there has to be more in physical form than one lifetime. So that's what I'm playing with these days, is this idea of where are we going. And I've been doing my own little personal research. A few years ago, somebody gave me a book called Many Lives, Many Masters by Dr. Brian Weiss. Weiss was a psychiatrist at the University of Miami. And in taking people into a hypnotic state, some people suddenly flipped into what sure looked like a past life. And if you want to study that Many Lives, Many Masters is a great place to look. When my wife had her stroke and we could all see that her passing was imminent, one of my practitioners in North Carolina sent me another book called Testimony of Light, which is an entirely different take on what happens when we leave this lifetime. But clearly states that there's stuff going on. And then I've been on this kick of going onto YouTube and looking up near-death experiences. The first bunch I found were near crashes and things. That's not what I was interested in. I wanted to hear from people that actually had an experience outside of their body and came back. They're all different. The one thing that everybody that I watched in all these interviews seemed to have in common was nobody wanted to come back. So obviously they did, or they wouldn't be telling this story, but they all said, oh, no, I'm not going back there. I like this. So apparently there's lots going on that we're not akin to being here in physical form, and we'll all figure it out then, so I don't want to belabor it, but I did want to say that to me really speaks to what it is that's going on. But there is another authority, a greater authority that speaks to this that I want to use as an example. His name is Yeshua ben Yosef. You know him better as Jesus Christ or Jesus of Nazareth or one of those names. In his teaching, in his ministry, which was only 3 years, he had the opportunity to speak to this idea. In chapter 11 of Matthew, verses 14 and 15, he's talking to his apostles, or his what are they called? Disciples. They're his disciples, and they say, who is this John the Baptist? John the Baptist was his cousin. But that's not what he said. He said, and if you can accept it, John is Elijah, who was come, who has ears to hear, let him hear. What? It says it right in the Christian Bible that John the Baptist was the prophet Elijah. Now, I'm sure some of you know the two stories of these two prophets. Very different stories, but very similar, too. Elijah's story is written in 1st and 2nd Kings in the Old Testament. And what happened is that at the time that Elijah was on the planet, the king of Israel's name was Ahab. And Ahab did not marry an Israeli woman. He married a Phoenician woman. Her name was Jezebel. Remember that name? Apparently not held in high regard by biblical scholars. Well, in Phoenicia, the Phoenicians worshipped a god named Baal, B-A-A-L. And so Jezebel talked her husband, the king, into worshiping Baal instead of Jehovah. Elijah was not happy about this. He kind of was staying out of the periphery, but when he heard that, he came into the city. He came into Jerusalem, and he got an audience with the king, and he went and told him, he said, if you keep doing this, then all of Israel is going to be in a great drought. And he left. And he went back out into the wilderness. Sure enough, Israel went through a great drought, according to the story in 1st and 2nd Kings. At one point, I have no idea how long it lasted, but Elijah came back into Jerusalem. He went back to the king, and the drought ended. And he said to the king, so have you learned? And are you now worshiping Jehovah? He said, no. My wife is right here. That's not going to happen. He said, I'll tell you what, we're going to have, how about a contest? Let's have Baal and Jehovah demonstrate their power for us. The king said, well, okay, I'm interested. What do you got? He said, have your prophets of Baal create an altar and have them pray to their God and have him light the altar on fire. Big fire. He said, okay, and when that's done, I'll do the same with Jehovah. And we'll see whoever has the fire that lights, that will be the God that the Israeli people will worship from now on. Ahab agreed, and they had this contest. So the 450 prophets of Baal came, and they created this pyre of wood, and they prayed to it and prayed to it and prayed to it. Nothing happened. Well, apparently Elijah was a bit of a showman, so he started taunting them. He said, maybe Baal's away on vacation. Maybe Baal's gone to the bathroom. They didn't care for that at all, but they kept screaming to their God. They went to the point of sacrificing themselves by cutting themselves with swords. Nothing happened. Nothing changed. So Elijah said, okay, my turn. And so he had his people create the same kind of an altar. And then he poured water on it 3 times. And then he began to pray. And what he prayed, it's coming. There it is. Let it be known this day that you are God in Israel, that I am your servant, and that I have done all these things at your bidding. Answer me, O Lord, answer me. And with that, the wet altar burst into flames. Now, Elijah, feeling pretty snooty at that point, sent his followers to kill all of the prophets of Baal. Now, the king was subdued by all this, but Jezebel was really ticked off. So she sent her guards to go catch and kill Elijah. That's not the way the story ends. The story ends with Elijah getting away, getting onto a chariot of fire, and being swept off into the heavens. So ends the story of Elijah. Well, John the Baptist had in that certain ways a similar experience with the hierarchy of the time. The king at the time was King Herod. Remember, he was in the story of Jesus' betrayal. His wife's name was Herdonius. And Herdonius was doing some things that John the Baptist thought were not appropriate. So he criticized her publicly. She didn't like that. Wanting to get Herod to do what she wanted, she had her daughter, Salome, actually come and dance for the king. Apparently the king was moved by this. I'll not suggest how he was moved, but he was moved by this young dancer. And Jezebel said, let me tell you what I want. He said, whatever you want. He said, I want John the Baptist's head on a platter. So they went out and arrested John the Baptist and put him in prison. And that was the time that Jesus' people came to him and said, so who is this John the Baptist? It's Elijah, for those who can hear. And with that, John was executed. And so ends a story that seems to have a reasonable beginning and an end that seemed to work out. Because there was something to pay for there. There was certainly some karma going on. So we'll let Jesus be the one that's really directing us on this idea of how that works, how reincarnation works. The next thing that Ernest Holmes teaches us in the Declaration of Principles is, I believe that heaven exists within me, and that I experience this state of being to the degree that I am conscious of it. Now, he didn't put this in the declaration, but other writings tell me he felt the same way about hell, that it was a state of consciousness, and that it was our personal journey where we experience these states of heaven or hell. I like that idea. I like it way better than thinking there's some kind of a paradise which I have to be in bliss for the rest of my life without learning anything. So, who else might be one that would think that this was the way that it worked? Could it be the Pope, the leader of the Catholic Church? Maybe so. It was John Paul II on July 31st, 1999, that gathered 8,500 pilgrims there at the Vatican. And attending in that office, or in that experience, he said to them in his homily that day, "Hell is the state of being for those who freely and definitively separate themselves from God, the source of all life and joy." Sounds very similar to me. There are other things that were said about that. In fact, it wasn't just once. He spoke 3 times on this in a publication called EWTN, Eternal World Television Network. It was reported that in 3 controversial Wednesday audiences, Pope John Paul II pointed out that the essential characteristics of heaven and hell are that they are states of being within the spirit of human soul, rather than places as commonly perceived and represented in human language. Now, I went looking for that when I first heard that he had said something. I could find nothing in the American media. I found it in the Canadian media, though, and that's what first alerted me to it. But since then, I found it in 2 other places. The Guardian, which is a British newspaper, where a headline read, "Vatican scrambles after Pope appears to deny existence of hell." And the other one was in the Washington Post, where it says, "Pope's vision of hell and heaven riles evangelicals." I don't know why that makes me happy. But it puts a smile on my face every time I think about it. And our final passage for today. I believe the ultimate goal of life to be a complete emancipation from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. I like that. Now, we've all known people that have passed from this life and perhaps had not attained a sense of completion, a sense of emancipation. I was with my mom when she passed. She was not happy. A lot of people aren't. I don't think they've worked everything out. So how do you work things out? Maybe reincarnation, another possibility. Now, I'm not suggesting there aren't other explanations for these phrases, but boy, it sure lines up for me. The idea that perhaps we do live multiple lives. And in my heart, however, wherever, I certainly want to see my beautiful wife again. So that really works for me. If it doesn't work for you, don't worry about it. You get to choose. You get to say whether that's the way life works or it doesn't. But I have one more thing that I would like to share with you about this whole idea of how this life works. If Holmes was teaching us with that last one that we achieve moksha, and he was a student of Hindu spirituality. And moksha, as I taught a few weeks ago, is that place where the Hindus believe that they achieve spiritual liberation after living many, many, many lives and working everything out. Then they don't need to do that anymore. I know Holmes knew about that, and this sure sounds like that may have been where they were going. But what I want to share with you is, I don't know, it's a poem, maybe it's a poem. It's some very wise words from a very wise person. And it's called After Life's Curtain Call. The applause died down. The flowers are thrown and the house lights are dimmed. I return to the dressing room, remove my costume, put on some comfy shoes, and head out to celebrate with my fellow actors. We excitedly toast one another with remarks about how we played. Our play was flawless. We acknowledged how each of us played our roles with skill. And so, what if we fumbled a couple lines in the production? It really didn't matter. There was no accusing one another for delivering the lines we did, even to the villains of the piece. There was no line, "How could you have ever said or done that to me?" We knew we had set up the scenes and played the roles we had agreed to before we ever stepped onto the stage, with maybe a bit of improvisation thrown in just to keep us on our toes. After the lively celebration of our collective success, I heard myself say, "Hey, let's do another one. This time, I'll play the child. You play the mother. Who wants to be my spouse?" There's a delicious role for my best friend. Plenty of juicy parts to go around. Who's game? And thank you, Jeannie Looper-Smith, for that beautiful writing. Give her a hand, would you? So as a student of science of mind, I give you things to think about. I'm not guaranteeing you that what I've said this morning is accurate. It works for me. You decide what works for you, but the most important thing you can do in your life has nothing to do with where you've come from or where you're going. It's about who you are being today, right where you are, what you're thinking, what you're saying to the people around you, and how you're living your life in love and light. That's the most important thing. And I leave you with that, knowing that that is the truth. And so it is. Yeah. Thank you. Now, I want to invite you to go within. We're going to reflect on these thoughts, see what comes. We know there is one power. There's one presence. It dwells at the point of each of us. We are beings of love and light with the innate ability to experience and express life abundantly as only we can. We are infinite. We are whole and complete right now. We have everything we need to live our lives in the light of Spirit, to be that precious presence that we have come here to be, and to touch the lives that are ours to touch, all in perfect order, happening exactly as it must. We are all of the one.
Every day, every day, every day, every day. Every day, every day, every day, every day. Every day, every day, every day, every day. God is all around, in and through me. As in and through me. As God is all around me.
As we remember the truth of our being, we are awakened to the peace and the joy of the divine. All is well, and we are grateful. And so it is.
Every day, every day, every day, every day. Every day, every day, every day, every day. Every day, every day, every day, every day. God is all around,
Thank you. Bless you. I love you.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. Once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision. It's my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forget. Once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision. It's my decision right here and now. If you know the song, sing along with us. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down the road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. Once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision. It's my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down the road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. Once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision. It's my decision right here and now. It's my decision right here and now.
It's time for us to receive the offering. So while you're taking out whatever it is that you're going to gift the center today, I want to thank you for your support of the center. I will thank you more in a couple minutes. I want to thank the TPL members, those who have committed themselves to support this center in an ongoing way. Their names are up on the board behind me. I hope that your name is up there. If it's not and you're interested in it, look in that little pocket in the chair in front of you, and there may well be a form you could fill out and become a TPL member. I did that myself, and I'm quite excited about it. And it's always good to support your spiritual community the very best that you can. And with that, we're going to receive our offering. So know with me that the presence and the power of the One shows up in this giving. It is right here and right now. We are blessed by it, and we do what is ours to do to receive it and to use it in the very best way possible. That is our intention, and so it is.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day. Got to let it go, let it all go. This is what you have to say. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in my spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in my spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Come on. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in my spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. I love doing this. I know this money's blessed. It's blessed because it comes from you. You love this place. You believe in this place. You learn and you apply what you learn here. And you support the place generously. Thank you. This includes all those TPL members that have money taken off your credit card or out of your bank account. However it's done, how it's done at home, when you go to the website and do it, however it's done, that is wonderful. And yes, that money is used to pay the bills. And we are being the best stewards we know how to be. At the same time, there's an energy of it that's always here. It's all between the walls, the ceiling, the floor.